Welcome. We're going to get this party started. You found Factor 8 and our monthly sales shots. Today, we're talking about the single greatest coaching question of all time. This is a really fun presentation. You're going to get great coaching questions and tips to help you teach anybody to do anything, including your children. So speaking of children, today's warm-up chat question is, what's your city? How many shots have you been to before? And what was your favorite childhood cartoon? And for my virgins out there, I'm going to start by just quickly introducing my company, myself, and Dell. So you found Factor 8. Here's some clients that we've worked with recently. We teach virtual rep skills for BDRs, AEs, account managers, ISRs, right? Anybody but a field face-to-face rep who doesn't use the phone. And we teach that transition to manager. I think we really specialize there. So about one of every 4 or 5 monthly free webinars like this, we focus on the management skills. My name is Lauren Bailey, LB to friends, and I founded Factor 8 and wrote the curriculum. So I have a ton of fun doing these, and you see me in all the training, and I get made fun of a lot by my team because my hair is different than every one of the videos. Welcome for the very first time, my friend Dell. Will you introduce yourself, buddy?
Hey everybody, Del Burberry. I may have chatted with a couple of you on the phones here, and you'll probably be hearing from me coming up in the future here. But I am new to Factor 8, and I am very very happy to be here. I've been here for coming up on what is it, LB now?
Like
Month or two?
weeks, a month?
Weeks,
Yeah,
weeks. Yeah, coming maybe a
yeah.
month. We've hit the month mark yet.
I love it. You've been
And
at such a great addition. And when I met Dell, we were talking about sales, and I loved his approach to sales. He's like, I just like talking to people and helping people. I'm like, yes, hallelujah. For those of you who have been to 20 or 30 shots, you know I can't stop preaching about that. So thank you so much. So Dell is with us on camera right now because I've got a few interactive things we're going to do today, and it's hard to do one way. If you're at your desk, please play along. If you're at a conference room, I can hear this a lot. Oh, watch your shots, and we all try to sneak in shots that work. If you're in a conference room, have fun with your friends here, but I encourage you to try these. This is a hands-on sport today. All right. So I love it. DJ, you've been to the very first shot. Welcome, welcome, my shot virgins. If you are just a couple minutes late in joining us, the chat question is your city, how many shots you've been to before, and your favorite childhood cartoon. All right, here we go. If this is your first, welcome, DJ, my son's name, by the way. We do these every month. Here are the next 3. You can go to factor8.com/shots and sign up for up to 3 at a time. We do rep content, enablement manager content, and manager leader content, always free. And my suggestion is that you book a time afterwards to chat about it so that you can really take these things home. I'm also always going to give you a chance to go get the training or the tools. You're going to hear today, I preach a little bit, no big surprise, that I don't think one-way webinars and videos are really effective in making behavior change. So we're always giving you access and discounts if you come to the shot to get the training. So you'll get the promo code at the end of the webinar if you stick with me. But this is a 6-pack for managers, aspiring managers. This is the training we use in Girls Club. Existing managers, even tenured managers, are loving these skills. I love getting the positive feedback. All right. Naturally, the garbage truck is coming around my house right now. Dell, is it super loud?
I can't
Can you
hear
hear the
any background
beeping?
noise. I
All
think
right,
I think
good.
you're
I'm
okay.
going to keep
Yeah.
going like it's not happening then.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to my friends at Waste Management. Thank you for that. All right. Dell, you can hang with me for a while. You can go off camera and come back. You make
Okay.
yourself happy. Let's get this party started. My friends, Sandy, I remember you, darling. I'm happy you're part of Girls Club. And if you like that training that you got in there on the sales management skills and the sales bar, that's what we're talking about here. So let everybody know. Here's the truth. Learning to be a great coach is hard. It's really hard. It's the hardest thing we teach new managers who were formerly reps. You know, it's not like Mount Everest hard or getting grandma to use the Google to buy presents, but it's rough. It's the toughest skill that we teach. So I just want to define some things here to help us all get this right. If you're a naturally phenomenal coach, congrats to you. The rest of us are struggling. And I think that sometimes it's because we don't know the difference, okay? And we're going to talk about that for a minute. Presenting, training, and coaching, all different things. And I think sometimes those lines cross, often because we don't have staff and resources, but we're going to help you do each one a little bit better. So why do you care about this? If you've ever said this before, my friends, I've told them 100 times. I can't tell you how often I've heard that from managers and VPs alike, and myself and my husband with our kids. It's rough, folks. If people aren't retaining what you're telling them to do, they obviously aren't going to do it. And so we have to back up a few steps to make sure it actually gets in their brain and sticks. And that's what we're going to be working on here today. So we'll start by defining coaching. Everybody does a little differently. A lot of people confuse coaching with just leading, right? That leadership style that asks questions. But there's some key words here. Okay, we're going to define coaching as a development method using questions, also inspirational, but people have to walk away with some personal feedback. Okay, if you're just giving everybody advice, or you're listening to a call recording, or there's 25 people in the room, it's not coaching. Very often we confuse that, right? With 5 people in the room, I'm coaching. No, what you're doing is presenting. Okay, so here's that definition. What I'm doing today, not training, not coaching, it's presenting. And the downside of presenting, folks, is this. This is serious. I know it's a chart. Nobody likes to read charts. It's called the forgetting curve. I bet most of you have seen it before. Give me a yes in chat if you've seen the forgetting curve before. By the way, here are the stats you need to know about the forgetting curve, okay? What it's saying here is that in a day, they lost 50% of what you said. I mean, my kid quits listening in the middle, so I think that 50% is immediate. In a week, they've lost 90%. Of course, they're not doing what you told them to do. They can't even remember what you said. Now, you can beat the forgetting curve 2 different ways, right? One of them is great facilitation, great training. That beats the forgetting curve, right? The better the training, the more interactive, and some of the principles I'm going to teach you today, the more it sticks, the more they do it, the more you get results. The other way is through coaching. So take a look at this. Those bumps in the curve, those are coaching moments. So all you have to do, my dear leaders, is tell people what to do, and then one-on-one, 4 times during that week, go and coach them and repeat it. You've got time for that, right? That's why I'm going to teach you good facilitation instead. Folks, the name of the game to get people doing what you need them to do to get results and get us all commission checks is recall. They can't do it if they don't remember it. Hopefully that's making sense to you, okay? That's remembering. Scientists call it recall. I promised you lots of good nerdy science stuff, right? All right, so let's talk about how we do that. How do we facilitate or teach instead of tell coach, 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 coach? All right. Unfortunately, most teaching is also broken, right? We think of this from back in college, right? In fact, Del, come on in here. We're going to have some fun here in a second. Even this definition of teaching kind of ticks me off. This is just painful, right? So I have a theory about why most of us get teaching wrong. Is it okay if we do a little experiment? Del, are you ready to have some fun?
Yeah,
You're
let's
nervous,
go.
I know.
I a little bit, but let's go.
Everybody, I want you to do this at home. Please, 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 please. It's fun. You need a piece of paper and a pencil, and that's it. You can use a whiteboard. You probably can't use your phone because we're going to draw. Here's the challenge. Del, I'm only going to give you guys 15, 20 seconds, okay? Not 30. You need to draw yourself in front of either the Disney Castle, speaking of old cartoons, or the Statue of Liberty. You with me? Can you do it? Ready?
Yeah.
Everybody, go. And second, we're going to grade this. You've got about 5 seconds left. Finish it up and then sign your masterpiece. And Dell's going to show us his because he's brave. And then I'll show you mine. I did this exercise a little bit ago. And
Not to scale.
It's not to scale. You're going to wind
I'm
up being
tall. I'm not
Picasso,
that
aren't you?
tall.
All right. Sign it and show us, Dell. Let's see.
All right.
Here we go. Hold
Statue
it
of
right up.
Liberty.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right, everybody, you're going to vote with me. We're going to grade Dell, but not on a letter grade. We're going to grade him on an age. How old? Rhonda can't see it. It's right there. It's right there. You might have to change your view, Rhonda, so you see us both. How old does the person look who drew that drawing? If you didn't know, that was a full-grown damn adult. How old would you guess he was for the person who drew that? I'm thinking, I mean, that's better than my 3 or 4-year-olds. Oh, you're getting an
All
8.
right. Thank you, DJ.
A
Thank
5. I'm
Rhonda
gonna
hit me
give
with
you
5.
It's the 3rd grade. I think that's
Third.
8. Yeah.
7.
DJ says it's okay. I draw like a 6-year-old. 6.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Nice. DJ's hyping me up over here. We're good.
That's right. Nobody is
3.
voting
Isaac.
over
Ouch.
8.
Ouch.
8 is your high score, my friend. I love that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. It's okay. I'm going to share mine with you to make you feel just a little bit better. Cody skipped jar class. That was a good one, Cody. All right. I did this too. I had 30 seconds. I chose the Disney castle. And mine's a little more anatomically correct. Adele's. And
I told you it wasn't to scale.
Right? I got a 6. Yeah, mine was graded as 6 years old. So 6 is about right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Here's my theory as to why. Del, thank you. You're welcome to stay on, or I'll call you back on the next time we're going to do something silly. Here's the theory, folks. I think that drawing is something we did a lot as we were a kid. Until around 6, 7, 8 years old, when other things became more exciting and interesting. School or video games or girls or whatever it was, we quit practicing. And when we quit practicing, our skills freeze. Does that make sense? I think for so many of us, teaching is also a skill frozen in time. We think back to teaching and we think of this. Does that make sense? So I've spent most of my career in enablement trying to take leaders by the shoulders kindly and explain that won't work. I can't just tell them everything you want to know. They retain it and go and do it. It doesn't work that way. And it's hard because we don't know what good facilitation is. We don't know what good training is because it's a skill frozen in time. So I'm going to make this shot number 2, folks. We need together to redefine teaching. And we need to facilitate instead. And to do that, I'm going to use an image from college or university from my European friends. You probably do remember. Here it comes. No one's laughing, are they? I'm laughing. It's okay. I can laugh with myself. Cup is what we want to talk about here, okay? You'll remember this. The C stands for connect. If you want people to remember things and apply them and do what you tell them to do, you have to help them connect with the information. It's called adult learning theory. And it basically says that grown-ups have adult filing cabinets in our heads. You tell a kid something new, they'll accept it as fact. I won't even log it until you help me find the file folder. And that means help me connect with it, okay? And know what it's about related to something else, okay? I have to tell my stories about it. Now, I have to use it. Great training takes longer because we're facilitating them actually get their hands on it. I have got to tell you, I've watched people do systems training where people were just watching. Total waste of time, hands-on. If your kid has ever told you how to jump the scary witch and get the touchdown and kill the donkey or whatever in their video games, and you're not touching the controller, you understand how useless it is. Okay, it's the very same thing. If we want people to understand, they have to use it. Are we ready for the P? What do they have to do then? They got to practice. We absolutely positively have to practice. Now, facilitation, when we do this with the cup method and we do all three, we're going to beat the forgetting curve. 70 to 80% recall. Nice, right? Get a buy-in along the way, a little bit more practice and role play, a little synthesis with what they do on the job. Outside of the scope of this webinar, you're going to get 80, 90%, and you're going to create new habits. Now, this definition of facilitation and adult learning theory leads me to my first contender for the greatest coaching question of all time. We have 7 of these, and at the end, we're going to vote. You can take all of them with you, and we'll find out what everybody's favorite is. Here it is. The coaching question is, tell me about a time you had to do something similar, right? Because that's helping them connect. I hope that's making sense for you. All right. Now, unfortunately, not all of us have the time and the technology to do that cup theory, right? We use a lot of video. And I'm going to do another little experiment here in a second with Dell and all of you at home. I want to ask you, do videos really teach? Here's a story of how it came up. This is a true story. It's my son, DJ. Hey, Deej, you want to take skateboard lessons? DJ says, no, I already know how, Mom. Confused face. Really, son? Because you don't even have a skateboard. You know what he said, right? That's okay. I watched a video. Isn't that great? Cracked me up. So here we go. We're going to test it. I'm going to play you a 1-minute video. It's how to finger whistle. And then we're going to see if you can do it. Dell, are you ready to have some fun again?
Feel like a lab rat. Guinea pig for the day. Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, you totally are the guinea pig for the day. You might be in luck though, because I can't find my, you know how the Zoom panel disappears? I can't find my stop share. Oh, found it. Here we go. I'm going to stop this share and do the other one. Anybody out there already know how to finger whistle? Tell me in chat if you do. Oh, you can. All right. So Cam, I wouldn't call on you in the audience because you already know what you're doing. Here we go. Hope you're trying this at home. All right. Did you do it?
I just spit all over my screen, so that was.
Oh, stop. I just did too. I got a little bit of noise. Oh my God, Jessica, you did it. Did anybody else do it? Oh my gosh, a few people did. This is amazing. All right.
Thanks,
For the
Derek.
rest of us, man, I'm glad I'm not on camera. That's somebody's being really kind to us that we look like assholes right now.
You probably look like idiots. I'm trying to
fun
follow
of us.
along as the video is going.
Right? It was painful. It was really painful. All right. In your chat, I've got a serious question. How many practices do you think it would take to actually get that right? Dale, go ahead and answer. How many times do you think you'd have to practice that to really actually be able to finger whistle afterwards?
Hey, I mean, 20 plus at least. I mean,
20 plus at least. Let's see what everybody else says.
Yeah. Oh,
1,000,
okay.
40, 25. Anybody else?
1,000, Terry.
So I think you guys get the idea. That's the practice portion. And I'm going to assert that being able to finger whistle well and how many practices that takes, if we average it, let's call it 50, which is a bad head math, I know. It's probably about the same as what it takes to get your sales team leaving a good pitch, having a good intro, right? Leaving a decent voicemail. It takes practice. And that's why it's so important in facilitation. So here's the next sales shot, folks. If behavior is critical, use the 1, 2, 3 punch. Here it is. You start with the presentation. Thanks, Del. Then you facilitate, and then you coach. And my action for you is to go and cup check your virtual training. If you've got a lot of video and not a lot of practice, people aren't doing what you tell them to do. Leaders, if you do a lot of announcing without a lot of coaching follow-up or letting people interact with it or doing a little role play or some checkbacks, they're not doing what you told them to do. And when it's something really critical, like learning how to actually sell and be successful in sales during new hire, you got to do all three. Okay. So that leads me to shot number 4. Coaching alone actually can be powerful, but not how you think. And I bring this up because so many of our frontline sales managers are heavy lifting, especially since people moved home. And what I mean by that is nobody's telling them and nobody's facilitating them. They're coming into them green. Maybe they watched a few videos, but they're trying to do all 3 of those via coaching. They are one-on-one telling, training, and coaching all the skills to all their reps, and they're exhausted. Now, that's where I usually say coaching alone doesn't work, but here's the shot that says it can be powerful alone. Let's take a look, because there's a lot of hype around coaching, right? I mean, I Googled coaching results and look at what I got. And these were on like the first 3 pages. Now, okay, there's a few of them. There's a few of them that are exaggerated. It doesn't actually clean your house or fix your hairline, but it's widely purported that coaching is the answer to everything. And to be honest, I don't think it is, right? It's got to do it in the right place. Now, why is coaching designated the silver bullet? I blame these guys. This is it. These are probably the 5 most famous coaches of all time. Please chat in your favorite right now. Can't wait to hear. I have a feeling I know who's gonna be the winner. Who's your favorite, Del? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of Yoda. Yeah, I thought last I would win for sure, Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, wax off. Come on. Let's
Thank you
go.
for being old enough to know Mr. Miyagi. That makes me very happy. That makes me very happy. Good. So these coaches are known for that other part of the definition we talked about, the inspiration, right? Their unconventional methods, the big inspiring speeches, their unwavering confidence, even when we don't have confidence in ourselves. That is what coaches do best. And it inspires my next hypothesis. Motivation is the most important part. And that's what these coaches nail. Okay. Our job is to make sure that our reps leave coaching sessions feeling like superheroes. And it's the number one mistake new managers make. Why? Because we hear the laundry list of crap that went wrong on that call, and we can't help but tell them. So that brings me to coaching. Greatest question of all time, contender number 2. Why are you so good at this? You can ask that to anybody in any coaching session. And the cool thing that happens, folks, is something in the brain called confirmation bias. It's a proven scientific fact. When you ask a why question, they will search for the reason it's true. I used this last week on Kelly Spencer, who is our senior trainer. He's the head of all delivery. He's amazing. He's an Army Ranger. Okay. This is a tough dude. And I said, Kelly, why are you so good at this? And he got quiet. And folks, Kelly getting quiet for like 20 seconds, that's a big deal. He thought about it and he gave me such a thoughtful answer. And then at the end of our meeting, he gave me another answer. And a week later, he gave me a third answer. The brain starts searching for reasons it's true. Do you think that might be motivating to people whose confidence is shaken? Okay, it's called confirmation bias, and you can use it. I'm going to skip our next exercise because unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have time, but it's just a little proof about the fact that you got to care about it. Motivation affects recall, which means that's why we use that presentation at the beginning. That's where we get the buy-in. That's where we get the hype. Then we let them connect with it, use it, practice it, and then we coach their execution and work on their confidence. Cool? All right. Next coaching question, contender. What happens when you knock this out of the park? Ooh, again, it's going to build confidence, but it also does this thing called functional equivalence. It's mental imagery. You guys have probably heard this with Olympic athletes, where they picture themselves doing like the gymnastics routine perfectly in their head, and it fires the neurons as if they're doing it. So if you can get your reps to picture success, it fires the neurons as if they've had it. There's a second scientific factor called the Pygmalion effect. I bet a lot of you read it in leadership books, but just because your manager believes in you, you'll believe in yourself more as well. Let me repeat that in a different way. Leaders who expect more get more. And I love that. All right, we're going to move on to shot number 6. The power is in the questions that you ask, and you'll never believe why. Said in a different way, leaders who ask more get more. That's why coaching style is in questions. Ever wonder why that works? It's something called instinctive elaboration. I know it's a nerdy science term, but it's the secret behind the Factor 8 Swift intro. So if you've been to Factor 8 training before and you know the Swift intro, give me a hell yeah in the chat. We talk about it a lot. We are literally hijacking the brain of the prospect to answer our questions, even if they didn't mean to. And it's why the Swift intro works, to get them talking. The nerdy science is called instinctive elaboration. And it works like this. I'm asking you a question right now. Are you ready? How old are you? Did a number come to your head? Now it's halfway out of your mouth. The brain stops what it's doing and starts answering questions, whether we want it to or not. And here's the proof. How much do you weigh? I know you don't want to share it, but you thought of a number, right? Okay. Coaching contender number 4. What were you most proud of on that call? If anybody has reps that beat themselves up a little bit, this is it. The brain will search for an answer and find it. Awesome. I love that. Okay. Speaking of making decisions, right? Hijacking our brains, the making a decision is the number 1 basis of my new hire training ramp hack. It's called the pause game. And in the pause game, you play any recorded call. Trainers, managers, everybody steal this, please, okay? You take anybody's recorded call. We keep thousands in the sales bar, okay? They're redacted and they're safe. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's everybody's favorite tool. So if you don't have access to call recording, come to the sales bar. We got your back. You go about 10 seconds, you pause it, and you ask 2 questions. Question 1, what should we do next? There it is. It's active recall, going in and finding the information in their brain. I'll tell you in a second why that works. The other question we ask is, what was the customer thinking? Gets us out of our head and our noise and into the shoes of the customer, which is what we're trying to do. It shortens ramp time, folks, because ramp time isn't about me not knowing it. It's about me not knowing when to use it. And if we can burn the pathways in the brain to recall the information we need at the right time, that's how we get people to learn and apply skills faster. That is my number 1 trick. Think of active recall like this. You hear it once, you forget it. We've proven that. All right, well, let's say you quiz yourself 2 or 3 times. You've got yourself a footpath. 10 to 50 times, you've got yourself a trail. But look at this last one. If I practice recalling the information 100 times, I've got a paved path with a fence. That's what it looks like in your brain. And when you've got a paved path like that, going to get the information back out happens faster and it happens more often. All right, speaking of the pause game, it's time for a quiz. Here we go. Get your chat fingers ready. I'm going to give you an example of what I hear managers do when we ask them to coach, and you are going to answer, yes, that's coaching, or that's not coaching. Okay, the name of the game is that's not coaching. Are you ready? Number 1, hey, Del, is that Unifor deal going to close? Give it a yes or a uh-huh. That's not coaching. That is deal management. All right, Del, next one. Here we go. I hear this one a lot. I'm sorry, I went too far. Hey, Del, dial me in. Let me help you close this. Folks, what do you think? Oh, you're getting, yeah, Dell, everybody's with you on that. That's not coaching. Remember, it has to be feedback. You have to be asking questions. You are just giving yourself a rep job here. All right, next one. What about a chat? Right? I'm listening to you live. Hey, you sound so good. Don't forget to ask about budget. Oh, Dell's giving it a thumbs up. Oh, Casey, no. Kimberly, no. You got one more yes? 3, 4 yeses? Oh, Terry. Terry's been to the Factor 8 management training. No leading the witness. I love it. I love it. Bobby says yes. Ken says no. Sem says no. I think that's not coaching. Okay. Ask about budget is real time guiding of the call. It's not feedback. It was a question and it was a trick question. Okay. If you can't stop yourself, don't live coach. Okay. Use call recordings and coach after the fact. But you getting in there and trying to save the deal is not developing the rep. You're just shaking their confidence. All right, folks. Sales shot number 7. If you can name this person, put it in chat. If you know this movie and this person, I want to see it in chat because I know it ages me like crazy. Dell, I want to see you vote because you knew Mr. Miyagi. Jack Palance, it's Curly. And Curly and City Slicker said, just one thing. That is so important. If you want your coaching to work, coach one thing multiple times, not multiple things one time. The coaching question contender that goes with that is, what's the one thing that's most important to work on? You can use this in any coaching interaction anywhere. And the science behind it is called implementation intention. And studies show if you work on one thing, you put a plan in place, it's 2 to 3 times more effective in building a new habit. Now, this is where I'm going to tell you about our top shelf coaching forms. We have one that goes with every single skill that we teach, but we've also put them together for every stage in the pipeline. About 70% of the companies I go in and help create a coaching program, they haven't defined what good looks like, and they don't have a standard form, which means we're all coaching to different things and we're all making mistakes along the way. Because like I told you, it's the hardest skill to learn. So if you haven't been taught how to be a great coach, you're probably making some of the most common mistakes, right? It's normal. Our top shelf coaching forms are available for download at factor8.com/shelf. And you will get one for every stage of the funnel. And what's great about it is that it's going to show you what to congratulate in the rep behavior on the left, build confidence. It's going to show you what the outcome should be, what we see the customer doing on the right. Simple grading scale that doesn't require an answer key. Room for 3 strengths, motivation is key, and 1 focus area. You can download them all and use them to your heart's content. All right, here are our 6 questions. It's time to vote. My poll died. I apologize. We're going to chat it in. What is your vote for the single best coaching question of all time? First one from Nancy, right out of the gate. What should we do next? She likes that active recall, and she's going to help burn the pathways. Next vote. Oh, 3, 6, 2. Dell, we're trying to figure out which one's the winner here. I think I see 3 6s so far. What's the one most important thing? You're taking that. I love it. You too. 6 is our winner. We've done it, everybody. Okay. If this resonates with you, please don't stop with this webinar alone. We've got a discount promo code now for you. This is telling, and it was fun. And I'm glad you got some good ideas. But if you want to really become a better coach, or you want your team of managers to become better coaches, they need the training. We're going to facilitate and we're going to coach it. Of course we are. On the sales bar, you can find our Factor 8 6-pack called Lead, factor8.com/lead. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. Okay. The course is in here: Coaching 101, Coaching 201, Sales Huddles, better listening skills, rapport building skills, and difficult conversation skills. These are all about helping you communicate better, build the confidence up of your reps, and stop doing those common coaching coachastrophes, as we call them. So this was one of our former students. We get so much great feedback on these classes. It is the cornerstone of our success in Girls Club. And I know y'all have heard us, just way too many people brag about that. It's great stuff. And it's, I don't know, do you remember how much this is if people get a 6-pack? With the 20% off, folks, we're talking a couple $100. Does that sound right? I'll show it to you. In fact, I've got it up here on a form here in a second. Before I quit this share and I go over and show you inside the sales bar, I want you to know something. Training the managers can 100% affect sales results. Here are 2 case studies that we did. So my friends at ZipRecruiter, we did a pilot study. We did half the management team. We worked with them only a couple months and a couple classes. And look at the results. A 21% increase in ARR. That's millions of dollars in pipeline, folks. That is the 21% increase the test group got over the other group. Okay. And look at that, 23% in conversion and close rates. We never touched the reps. We didn't teach the reps any skills. We taught the managers how to interact with the reps a little better and gave them some forms. You can get the forms super cheap if you've already had the training. Catable, it was the same, but look at that increase. Isn't that amazing? Our coaching and training, 132% increase in a conversion. Yeah, well, let's be honest, this person was probably about to lose their job before they got that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like online in case you've got any questions. I'm ready for you to ask questions if you've got them, give feedback. I'm going to walk you through this little tour as we go so that you know exactly what to expect. It's so important to me that you all don't stop with just the webinar and just the telling, because it's literally what we just explained doesn't work. So here's what it looks like when you go to Top Shelf. These templates, there are 6 of them on each of these areas. Every single form has 5 to 20 ideas of what good looks like in that stage. This is after decades of working with thousands of reps and managers. Change them if you want, but use this as a starting point. It makes a difference. When you go to factor8.com/lead, right? Or you just go to actually, here's the salesbar.com. Here's what it looks like when you find it. Here's what it looks like when you get to lead. $397 and then 20% off of that. You're going to see 6 courses included. These are not videos. These are interactive training courses. You get tip sheets, you get call coaching forms, you get activities to go do these out on the job. So if you're an enablement person or a sales leader and you want to raise the bar of your sales managers and you don't have the budget to bring in a company like mine who works with Fortune 500 companies, maybe you just have a couple managers, this is the solution. Okay. You don't have to know everything to do with them. The forms are there. The answers are there. The activities are there to keep everybody focused. Okay. You'll see there what it takes, how to log in, all of the answers. And here's a sneak peek inside my bar. Take a look, everybody. When you come in, you can search, right? What you've bought, a 6-pack, is going to be right on your screen. If you buy the subscription, you've got access to 4,000 different rep skills, manager skills, videos, templates, tip sheets, cheat sheets, etc. And you can search for them. What kind of thing am I looking for? What course am I looking for? What stage am I looking for? Or what role am I looking for? I've pulled up call coaching so you can see what's in every single class. Here we go. This is what we do, folks. We tell in the video, what can you expect? What results should you see? Why do you care? Then we facilitate in the e-learning with the quiz. And then down here in our show and prove, this is everything to enable the coaching. Learn, show, prove, the 1, 2, 3 punch. Here's a sneak peek inside the e-learning. My trainers out there, you get me, right? I took a stab at videos because, listen, they're cheap and they're scalable, but they're not effective. I don't think people learn from videos. So our e-learning, you never go more than 5 pages without having to interact. Now, if you were like me, when I was a sales manager, you set the required training on in the background, did your email, and then took the quiz. And it doesn't work this way. They are short, 15, 20 minutes, but every few pages, you've got to make decisions. right? I've got to click on these to see what the definition is. Then I'm going to come and I've got to make decisions about what the right answer is. That's how we interact, folks. That's the connecting and using. Then it's full of lots of tip sheets, lots of cheat sheets. Nobody goes back in to read the book. You want it all on one page. There it is, which I love. Whoops, you don't need that one and you don't need that one either. I'm going to stop the share. I'll take questions from the group. I hope you go and do it. I hope that you raise that game of coaching, because when we become great managers and great coaches, not only do our team's results go up, but their engagement goes up, right? Or their retention goes up. Their happiness goes up. And that's what it's all about for me. I think that that's my mission. I think people should love coming to work. And I think that when we help people feel successful sooner, that's what they do. So if your company doesn't have the budget for management training, and most of them don't, come to the bar, folks. Let's do this. If you've got questions, here's our contact information. The email gets to me. The phone number gets to Dell. Find our online classes at thesalesbar.com. If you've got a big team and you'd like some help rolling this out and really doing it with best practice facilitation and coaching, call or email. That's factor8.com. And if you've heard me talk lots about Girls Club and you're not sure what it is, find more information here. Don't go to girlsclub.com at work. That's going to get you in trouble. We are girlsclub.com. You can learn some more there. I'll stick around for our last 2 minutes for anybody who has questions. I'm so happy that you joined us today. If it was your first time, go to factor8.com/shots and sign up for some more. Find me on LinkedIn, please, so that we can connect and have some fun together. I thank you for your time, your attention, and your dedication to helping people recall and learn and making coaching more fun. Yeah. Dell, thank you for being our guinea pig. Everybody give Dell a round of applause. I called him
Happy
yesterday
to
and
do
said,
it. Thank you. Thank you.
do you mind making a fool of yourself in front of all of our people? And he was game for it. I love it.